so far. The preseason finale from SoFi. Here we go with Scott. Up from his 3. That's skinny through the 25, and he hands it off to Ty at the 30-yard line. Money Johnson with a special teams tackle for the Chargers. Well, Ty in his first preseason game was electric.
Watch Ty Simpson and how he gets in and out of the huddle, maybe adds a little to his plate this week, has had a really promising start to the preseason.
Wants to cut it loose early and find C.J. Daniels. The rookie combination has been a favorite one throughout the offseason program. It's 9 to begin. You saw Jordan Waters in the backfield for the Rams. No more Jarquez Hunter. We'll talk more about today's trade as we get started here tonight. There is the handoff, and sifting through to his right to find the line to gain is the 25-year-old Jordan Waters. It'll be a big night. A new first down on the game's opening drive. Clean platform to deliver, and that sails through the hands of Tyler Scott. But Ty and also Stetson Bennett have had the benefit of...
Guys are a play away from being active, whether it's on special teams or, you know, kind of in the core 4 or anything like that. So it's just another opportunity to get out there.
And last, reps. It might sound a little bit self-explanatory there, but really Ty Simpson is playing catch-up on getting the reps as a backup quarterback because he did not start out getting a ton of reps in training camp. This is all incredibly valuable experience for the young man, and it's going to be an important night for him for that reason.
His counterpart, Justin Herbert, doesn't need the reps. He's going to be judged based on what he does in the postseason the next time he gets there, not what he does in the preseason. He did drop one on the deck on a very humid night here in Inglewood. Set up that Rams field goal. Now out of the pistol. A short set. And his pass is tipped and nearly taken away again.
That's our guy. Big Bill Norton. Getting a hand up. It's always talked about in the defensive side of the room. It's tips and overthrows. Those are the opportunities you want to capitalize on for interceptions. And the ball obviously fell to the turf there, but you know, if you're around the ball more often than not, you're going to be able to get a hand on one of those.
And guys, I'm really liking what we're seeing so far from all of the depth along this defensive line. They've been really active. Bill Norton has moved around. Laryl Murchison is obviously playing a lot and is kind of a glue guy for them as well. This has been very fun to watch.
Fulson from Herbert, and he got him. Quentin Johnston. 65 yards for the first touchdown the Rams have surrendered this summer.
You hate to see it on that fashion right there, but just guy running down the middle. Justin's obviously got a heck of an arm to get it down there.
And Herbert sees him the entire way, and just one of those vintage Justin Herbert throws that we've gotten pretty used to seeing here.
So much of the conversation around the Chargers centered around their new offensive coordinator, going from Greg Roman to Mike McDaniel. And I think he's known for his running game prowess and his work both in San Francisco and Miami. We'll see what the partnership with Herbert produces. Rams trailing for the first time tonight. Giving up a touchdown for the first time this
here because he obviously has made some big-time explosive play contributions for the Rams and never quite broke into the rotation full-time. It's just been such a loaded team at receiver, but Tutu Atwell plays every receiving position. He knows them all. Even has bragged that he could be an emergency quarterback, even in a pinch, and he's got the wheels to get behind a defense. So happy personally to see him back. I'm sure a lot of his teammates are too.
Absolutely. I mean, Tutu's just got such a special trait of he can just open up and fly. And so that's something, obviously, Sean and the offense we're looking for to go ahead and take the top off some of the defense. And he does it very, very well.
As for Jarquez Hunter, a draft pick a year ago, had that breakout performance last time we were here on Saturday against the Saints, including that fourth quarter touchdown. He now continues his career with the Dolphins. And so a little bit short at running back tonight. We've already introduced Jordan Waters. Here's Dean Connors as well. I want to steer the conversation back to Ty Simpson. And Rob, I think one of the thoughts that you surfaced after talking with Sean McVay is that the way the Rams operate at quarterback behind the scenes will be different this year without Jimmy Garoppolo and with two emerging talents at quarterback behind the MVP.
Yeah, usually the scout team quarterback, the guy taking all the reps, is your number 2, so he can go ahead and get his reps of, obviously playing the position of quarterback, but in the interesting situation.
Connors able to crack one. A first down above the 35-yard line. Troy Dye shoved him out.
I'll get right back to that, JB, but right here we got to go ahead and look at the big fellas up front. A little pressure, everything's washed down, cutting off the heels of the lineman. Ball's in the right hand, all the little details are right. You love to see that from the young fella.
Lowering his shoulder a little bit, too. The young man wants the smoke here.
So finishes with a dozen. And we'll call this next play from Ty. And, you know, just to backtrack a little bit, Stetson Bennett's been so valuable to the Rams while Matthew is playing starters snaps, and Jimmy Garoppolo has filled that QB2 void for a couple of years now. Here's the rookie on platform. Goes underneath to Daniels and stumbles up to the 45-yard line. So all that to say that when you've got a 2A and a 2B, Rob, they're going to try and work both quarterbacks in preparation for the season.
Yeah, absolutely they are. You know, it sounds like they're going to be splitting reps on the scout team and really taking this 2A, 2B on, you know, very seriously. And so the competition continues, and I think that's, when you're talking about the Rams, that's a wonderful thing. I mean, just the competition is going to breed excellence, and so it's going to, you know, someone is going to become the guy at some point. Hopefully not during this season, and, you know, number 9 stays healthy because we all know how good he is.
Simpson looking to flip his hips, takes off instead, goes into a baseball slide, and they appear to have marked him down just shy of the line again.
It's such a unique situation, too. This is the first time that I can recall the Rams actually operating their QB2 situation this way. The scout team is going to be interesting because basically you're running the opposing team's offense and you're trusting the quarterbacks there to do that. And so they'll really want to make sure they get their reps in Sean McVay's offense as well. And that's where a man like Dave Ragone, the quarterbacks coach, really, really comes in handy. Sean McVay has been singing his praises all preseason and also spending a ton of time with all of the quarterbacks on the roster and really trying to prepare them.
Preseason for the officials, too, using their virtual technology to check the spot of the football and confirming that it is third down. And just to trace the course of the summer, obviously you draft Ty Simpson, the highest pick in the Sean McVay era.
On the field in the preseason, so it's like you guys said, it's a good problem to have. It's an interesting problem to have because I am really curious about how the development plan unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because when you're running that scout team quarterback, obviously you're going to play a lot of different types of quarterbacks. So you got a running quarterback, you got a pocket passer. Great job here by Dean lowering the shoulder, getting that first down there. Big fellas behind him churning just enough for it. Love to see it. But when you're talking about that scout team quarterback, I mean, you're playing a bunch of, you know, if you go play the Ravens, you know, obviously you got to go emulate Lamar Jackson. I think what Stetson's done on the ground, obviously 2 touchdowns last game, like it's an easier transition to go ahead and get those guys, you know, the best look possible.
Jordan, you talk about the command at the line of scrimmage from the rookie. Another instance there where it looks like he's canning the first play and willing to hand it off on first down.
Yeah, that's what you really love to see is they have the confidence in him to give him the 2 plays in the helmet. That's Nate Shieldhouse that's calling the game tonight, the offensive coordinator. And that is an important thing to note. That shows growth. That shows confidence and command. These are all the little details that coaches wanted to see and build for Ty Simpson as the preseason progressed.
2nd and 8. Wings one out to the sideline, able to find his rookie tight end Max Clare, 2nd-round pick out of Purdue and Ohio State. Troy Dye with another hit, and they mark him out at the 43-yard line. Another 3rd down opportunity for Simpson and the Rams.
I mean, me just being a fan right now, I love the way that Nate is calling this offense right now. It's very friendly for the quarterback, for the offensive line, for the receivers to kind of get into this game, and then hopefully as the game starts going, really start kind of breaking this thing out, see if we can't see something fun.
Ty needs 2 against the blitz, able to find a leaping Alex Bachman to keep the drive alive.
And watch Ty be so clear here as he stands and looks at the rush coming, looks at the arms trying to get into these lanes here, and stands and fires off to his receiver. That is a big 3rd down for the young guy. Even
more important than that is Jordan Waters coming over here and picking up the blitz. You know, obviously you'd like to see him get a little bit more room from the quarterback when he sets his feet, but
yes.
He was strong, he was sturdy. Ron Gould would be happy that, well, I think his hands were inside. You know, if not, he needs a couple more reps on Big Bertha.
1st down, play action. Ty has to step up, feeling the pressure. Now he takes off. He got some wheels, close to another 1st down for the Rams.
Love to see him avoiding the rush here.
Look what he had with the offense for that conversion, and then takes off here seeing his opportunity. That's huge.
Jordan Waters stumbling and sliding to another first down. Rob, you spoiled us for more than a decade. I'm picking up what you're putting down there with your right tackle commentary.
Absolutely. Every now and again, once in a blue moon. I was just fortunate enough to play woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that stumble didn't happen there. That looked like I was going to be a big play coming the other way.
Tight end Mark Redmond on that catch. One of the favorite designs from this Rams offense. Finding that tight end leaking out late. Andre Carter makes the tackle, but the Rams at the top of the red zone now for Ty Simpson.
And JB, that just shows that he's really going through his progression. Like I know we've mentioned it in games past, but he's really playing the position right now. So he's going through where his eyes are supposed to look. And then none of that's open. He hits his tight end on a late leak. Positive yard, 2nd and 5? I think 5. 2nd and 4. That was a tackle. So
got a little flair to him too with that sleeve on the right arm there, Rob.
Looks just like a slightly younger Matthew Stafford. Great spin move there.
How about Dean Connors?
Showing no fear right there, especially with a nicked up rib. I know that thing kind of hurts.
Look, I'm sure it's not lost on Jordan Waters and Dean Connors that even though the top of the running back room is very well solidified with those top 3, there's going to be a spot on the practice squad, maybe multiple spots for them to stick with a championship organization.
Oh, absolutely. And then whether you can contribute on special teams, there's flexes from the practice squad all the time. You get 3 of them before you have to get paid the big bucks. So I know a lot of guys have been doing that.
Ty's got him on skates right now. Chargers spend a timeout there on defense before 1st and 10 from the 15.
Timeout. Defense. They're first of the half.
Our official tonight.
More assertive as well. That's definitely noticeable from practice to game for Ty.
Connors again, so good out of the backfield. We saw that a lot in the opener at Arrowhead. Looks like he's got enough for 1st and goal, running around out of the backfield.
Just looks so natural to him. I mean, just does such a nice job. Looks at it the whole way, and he was flirting with getting out of that tackle too. I mean, his contact balance he's done a very nice job with this preseason.
2 receiving touchdowns already to his credit. Sets the Rams up 1st and goal from the 4. Here comes the 14th play of the Rams drive with Ty Simpson under center, giving to Connors, who tumbled for 1. Tony Jefferson around that edge to get him off his cleats. 2nd and goal. Tony Jefferson at age 34, dozen seasons, still going at it for the Chargers.
Hey, be careful how you talk about 34-year-olds here. That's a spry young age.
You're looking down at a guy on the wrong side of 40, Jordan, so it's a humble brag by you. We'll take it. Waters steps into the backfield. Simpson sinks into the shotgun. Feeds his tailback. He'll try it again up the gut. Enough removal for the 1. They'll have to snap it again on 3rd and goal. Andre Carter helping to keep the Rams out of the end zone for now.
Especially when it comes to red zone run game, just to let everybody know, as long as you're gaining yards, you're doing a good job. So we got 3rd and short here. It's been great. The whole playbook is opened up. Not that I'm going to predict what's going on here, but expect to see a little movement from Ty Simpson.
A 16-play drive. Simpson gives. Waters comes up short. It's 4th and goal. Marlowe Wax delivered the hit.
Now that was
Final seconds of the 1st quarter. He and the Rams have to snap it again. With a man in motion. Gun run. 4th down. Have to have it. And he is short. Waters stuffed again. Chargers take over on down. Lance is the new quarterback. And a handoff that bounces, and the Chargers get it out above the 5 with some breathing room. And it's time for a player interview. Brought to you by the California Research.
Jay Daniels getting one nice and early, so it's fun to see the wideouts make plays.
Puka, how you doing, baby? Big Rob here.
What it is.
What up, man?
My
Hey.
old locker mate right there.
Yes, sir. Hey, number one, you look great, man. Are we still on the McDonald's, or have we go ahead and
Picked up many years ago. It is a game changer.
Oh, we're on the same language. That's why. That's how I know you know ball right there. I like that.
Hey, Puka, what can you tell us about C.J. Daniels? I'd love to hear your scouting report on the young man.
I think his confidence from one thing that Coach preaches.
There's still a lot to talk to you about, including Tutu Atwell coming back to Los Angeles. Will you stick around for one more segment?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break after this. Punt is shanked out of bounds, and great starting field position for Ty Simpson and the Rams.
Can you talk a little bit about your mindset coming into this season?
I think I pay huge credit to our coaching staff and just how they come into the offseason and give us your three better, your three best, the things that you excelled at and we want to continue to build upon, and then the three things that have more part in the run game, and then obviously to be on the same page as number 9. Being able to be out here, run routes, and continue to build that continuity that we have has been super fun in this offseason, and he makes going after the catch routes really fun.
Puka, turn around. Watch what Ty Simpson just did with Brennan Presley against the blitz. Are you kidding me? 11 yards that don't even start to tell the story.
Look at Ty, escape, 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 wants to create. Was that a little sidearm action we saw? And Brennan Presley, such a trustworthy receiver for any quarterback.
Yeah, you know, it's always super exciting to play the guys in that red and gold, so it'll be fun to go over there in Australia and make sure we get the job done.
All right, go raise that bar again.
That is exactly what you want to see.
Lamar Johnson on the return for the Chargers, trying to cut it all the way back across the field. Nate Bulker still there to help make the tackle. And let's give Presley his due, because for the second summer in a row, he has really shined. Last year, in that comeback win against these Chargers, he made that acrobatic 40-yard contested catch to set up the game winner. Back in his college days, he finished with 315 catches in Stillwater.
Is that he can also get involved in what the coaches call transportation schemes, meaning the sweeps, meaning the end arounds, meaning some of those fast exit motions that create space for the receivers and change gaps for the defenders. I love watching him go to work, and he's been a quarterback's best friend so far in the preseason.
And with those transportation series, a lot of that is stop motion, and then all of a sudden you're inserting through the C gap in the run game. And him not being the biggest guy around, he's still sticking his face in there, doing everything that a Rams wide receiver needs to do, and he's had just such a efficient day-to-day. 5 targets, 5 catches. I mean, he's doing everything.
Rams back in front. Trey Lance, his second drive. End around toss.
Speaking of which,
Darius Davis involved, as if to illustrate the concept that Rob and Jordan were just coaching us on. Alex Johnson gets the tackle for the Rams.
Yeah, they must have heard us.
yeah, Mike
McDaniel, I got my joggers pulled up. It's a little warm up here, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's for Mike.
On the toss right, it's Vidal. 6th-round pick back in 2024. Put up pretty good numbers for the Chargers while filling in for injuries last year.
To change formations, he loves to change the math for defenders. You need to really, really be on your keys, understand where your assignments change pre and post snap.
Now, this is why Trey Lance was a first-round pick. 3rd overall in 2021 by the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen him with the Cowboys. And Jimmy Lake there. Chris Beek, safeties coach, calling the defense tonight for Chris. Off the play fake with pressure on his doorstep. That's a confident strike to the 30-yard line. Rams say incomplete, and the back judge agrees.
Chris Beek is described by his colleagues as very stoic. Doesn't really change his facial expressions or the volume of his tone very much. But when he lets it rip, he really, really does, and the players really love him for it. And him getting the opportunity tonight to call this defense, I know they were really excited for him.
I mean, I've been with Coach Beek for a number of years, and I didn't realize that he was going into his 28th season. I mean, that's unbelievable. He's been in it a long time. Exactly what we're saying up here. He is that type of glue guy who doesn't really say a whole bunch, but when he does speak, players listen.
Especially because he still looks like a 28-year-old and moves around like it too at practice.
Yeah, you're making up for your previous age comments there, JB.
Trying to dig myself out of the ditch. Eli Neal with the hit at the 2nd level for the Rams, but it's a first down for the Chargers.
And being capped off there by our guy, the human missile, Tanner Engel. I mean, he is always flying around. He plays the game.
Report, love to see it. First down, fake the toss. There's Engel, nearly got home, but rushed the throw. Forcing Lance to overshoot Davis.
This is exactly what we're talking about up here. They're running toss. They're moving the formation and the play strength to be on one side, then the quarterback is flushing to the other side. They're faking the toss play and pulling back to throw. This is, for this Rams defense and these backups here that are on the field, hoping to make an impact, it's really not going to be so much about the stat sheet as what coaches are watching your head and body as you are looking for your keys here.
Chargers lighting it up on defense. Chris Beek dials up a little safety pressure, gets there well, almost gets there off the edge, makes the ball come out a little quicker.
Mark Johnson rumbling below the 30. Alex Cook gets a tackle. He's got the highlight of the preseason on defense, doesn't he, Alex Cook? 100 yards the other way from the goal line to pay dirt last week against the Saints.
Called by Brenda Song.
There you go.
How fun was that?
What a time capsule for the Cook family. He was signed during camp after a summer with the United Football League where he had a 30-yard pick six as well. It's been a good summer for Alex Cook. Drop back game. Lance gets antsy and gets tracked down from his right side. Give that one to Daryl Peterson III, 22-year-old rookie out of Wisconsin. And the brother of NBA lottery pick, Darren Peterson.
Yeah, that was nice pursuit by Daryl Peterson there to stop that play.
His left hip. Fourth down, Rams defense trying to take over. Off the play fake. Here comes the pressure. Rams take over on downs. Peterson goes back to back, this time with a sack.
Go Badgers.
Trying to cut it all the way back across the field.
Plays that can be so big because when
Walker still there,
when the play breaks down, and all of a sudden
let's give Presley his due, because for the second summer in a row, he has really shined. Last year, in that comeback win against these Chargers, he made that acrobatic 40-yard contested catch to set up the game winner. Back in his college days, he finished with 315 catches in Stillwater.
Is that he can also get involved
Dean
in
Connors
what
can scoot too. In the backdrop, while we're talking Ty Simpson, he finds another first down.
Meaning the end arounds.
And they got to be careful with Dean Connors here. A lot of teams are watching
for the
this
receivers
tape.
and change gaps for the defenders. I love watching him go to work, and he's been a quarterback's best friend so far in the preseason.
And with those transportation series, a lot of that is stop motion, and then all of a sudden you're inserting through the C gap in the run game. And him
Simpson
not being the biggest guy around, he's still sticking his face in there, doing everything that a Rams wide receiver needs to do, and he's had just such a efficient day-to-day.
Time for another coach camp.
5 catches.
Brought to you by
Novartis,
Novartis, official partner of the Rams. Rams back
Stay
in front. Trey Lance, his second drive. End around toss. Let's bring in Greg Williams and Darius Davis involved as if to illustrate the concept that Rob and Jordan were just coaching us on. Alex Johnson gets the tackle for the Rams. This summer to see a lot of the reserves fighting for jobs and spots on the practice squad.
I got my joggers pulled up. It's a little warm up here, but I'm going to go ahead and say
it's been awesome, man, because those guys give
on
their
the
all.
toss right. It's
the one thing we don't even have to coach is effort. You know what I mean?
Sixth-round pick back in 2024. Put up pretty good numbers for the Chargers while filling in for injuries last year.
To change formations, he loves to change the map for defenders. You need to really be on your keys. Understand where your assignments change pre and post snap.
From that linebacker.
This is why Trey Lance was a first-round pick, third overall in 2021 by the San Francisco 49ers. We've seen him with the Cowboys. Jimmy Lake there. Chris Beek, safeties coach, calling the defense tonight for Chris.
Very
off the play fake with pressure on his doorstep. That's a confident strike to the 30-yard line. Rams say incomplete, and the back judge agrees.
Everybody sees Landman, punching it out.
Chris Beek is described by his colleagues as very stoic. Doesn't really change his facial expressions or the volume of his tone very much. But when he lets it rip, he really does, and the players really love him for it.
He is that type of glue guy.
Obviously, you guys teach that little peanut punch.
Say a whole bunch, but when he does speak, players listen.
Especially because he still looks like a touchdown for the Chargers.
Every day. I mean, we try to drill it.
Being capped off there by our guy, the human missile, Tanner Engel. He is always flying around. He plays the game.
Report, love to see it. First down, fake the toss. There's Engel, nearly got home, but rushed the throw. Forcing Lance to overshoot Davis.
This is exactly what we're talking about up here. They're running toss. They're moving the formation and the play strength to be on one side, then the quarterback is flushing to the other side. They're faking the toss play and pulling back. Man, I love hearing details like that. That is so cool. And speaking of details, hoping to make the Chargers offense is really not going to be so much about the stat sheet as what coaches are watching your head and body as you are looking for your challenge. Is this seeing a lot of different types of stuff, formations, sweeps, motions, all of it against
almost gets there off the edge, makes the ball come out a little quicker.
Guys are moving all over the place.
Johnson,
I'm looking at this
below
iPad,
the 30.
looking at the guys, and we're just flipping back and forth. I'm like, where did he go?
Alex Cook
where
gets a tackle.
His motion.
He's got the highlight of the preseason on defense, doesn't he, Alex Cook?
They are
100
testing our
yards the
rules
other way
in
from the
every
goal
possible
line
way.
to Pater
But it's good
last
for
week
us.
against
It's good
the
for us.
Saints.
Just want to see if
31 other teams, especially if the Rams want to try to keep him with an already stacked running backs room.
And just as a reminder, players on the practice squad must be signed by other teams to the active roster should they want to poach them.
So you're saying when they go through waivers this coming Sunday night to beat the Rams out for a chance to come back to their practice squad, they have to offer him a full-time 53-man job elsewhere in the league.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, he's making the case for himself, and the Rams are going to take a long look at his entire preseason tape. The thing about Dean Connors is he can also stay on the field for the third downs, and he's a threat as a receiver. That plus special teams, again, he's making this really tough for the coaching staff in the best way.
Waters slicing through that left side for a first down here. He moves the sticks on 3rd and 1. Ran into Junior Colson. But the Rams are in the red zone again with a new set of downs and a minute to go in the first half.
I mean, shoot, Jordan Waters may not seem like a lot to everyone at home, but it makes all the difference in the world, especially when you're trying to call plays, whether it's 3rd and 6 or it turns into be 3rd and 4.
10th play of the drive.
Yeah, Rob, would you call that a Waters fall?
Nice one.
C.J. Daniels with that catch. I didn't want, to shortchange your joke there, Jordan. I wanted the laugh track to run its course before I jumped in.
If I didn't get one pun in there, I would regret it forever.
Timeout on the field. Let's go down to the field. Here's Darren.
Yeah, you know what, Tyson, and basically he talks to Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, then gives it to his dad, and then his dad gives it to the players. He says it's like a food chain, but did joke and say that
years, and now off the family tree, Ty Simpson, the first-round pick.
That's funny. Usually, you're seeing Andy Reid taking plays from high school and bringing it up, and it seems like it's going the other way around, where Ty's over there telling high schools what they're running. So as long as he's not giving away the full secret, I'm sure Sean will have no problem with that, just talking different concepts and things like that. Let's see what the Chargers have to dial up here. It's been something fun the rest of the time. Little pump.
End zone, too tall. 4th down and 5. Bachman the intended target, and the field goal unit will march on.
Yeah, Ty's looking a little dejected there after that one. Had a good little pump fake on an out and up to Bachman, but I think he wants that one back.
Yeah, you could see him motioning to Nate.
Harrison Mevis looking to close out the half with another right-footed boot. It's true, and the lead is 13-7.
And right there, every single one of Nate's punches or punch outs, he's got it up on his wall. Oh, big play there. Up on his wall, kind of hung up under a picture of Landman punching it out against the Texans. So it's a cool little memento, and hopefully, during this next season, he can go ahead and add to the total.
As DJ Uiagalelei with a completion to Keandre Lambert-Smith. Thanks for finishing that story to give me time to rehearse the pronunciation on DJU.
I was just about to say, that was spot on.
Lived through a lot of his college career at Clemson, Oregon State, and Florida State. He's a Southern California native born in Riverside. Played at Bosco. 3rd quarterback we've seen from the Chargers tonight. Pressure up the middle. And another strike to the sideline. Tiptoeing out of bounds. Davis has a first down at the top of the red zone. And with 12 seconds left, a gain of 20 as Jackson Moy was in on the pressure.
It's a great opportunity for this Rams defense and some of these depth players to really practice a late half, end of half scenario like this.
the Chargers are going to mix up, again, different looks, different things, try to get explosive plays down the field with the clock winding down the way it is.
Especially this is a type of situation because they won the toss. They're getting the ball coming out at half where offenses call this a double dip. You can go score and then halftime get the ball back again. So the Chargers here are looking obviously to get a touchdown, but if they have to settle for a field goal, they'll settle for that.
Incomplete on the inbreaker. Rob, you alluded to this earlier, and I think a lot of us would not have been so. 4 seconds of the first half, looking to get that field goal back. He's been wobbly this preseason, and he missed another.
Real pressure, as Nate alluded to earlier, like he's doing a heck of a job.
All right, we begin the third quarter of the preseason finale with flags everywhere on a big return to the 44-yard line. Let's see if it stands.
They come into training camp and you get an opportunity to sit down and talk with them, and you can go over how they see the game, different rules, how they're officiating certain things. And he was just such an open book to all of us, especially when he came and sat in the offensive line room where we can, let's be honest, basically ask him about how they call holds, because that's one of the things we care about the most is how much can we get away with. And Sean was an open book about, you know, what's legal, what's not legal.
Night started with Justin Herbert at the controls for the Chargers offense. We saw a moment of Trey Lance as well. DJ Uiagalelei is going to bring it home. Got a completion for a couple to begin this drive. Amar Johnson is his tailback. Fakes the handoff his way. And early to the flat, Evan Svoboda with back-to-back targets. And third down coming with Cam Lampkin coming away with a sack to close out that first half. Now wraps up a tackle in space.
But in space, he's one shot to find an angle, just like you said on that sack. I mean, he is confident flying in there and a willing tackler, and that's what most offenses are trying to do, is they're trying to get the ball to bounce out to the corners. You know, arguably the worst tackling people on the field. And so when you got a corner who's confident to go make an open field tackle like that, that's something you love to see from Cam Lampkin.
Chargers got over the top of this Rams defense with the Quentin Johnson touchdown early. The only touchdown the Rams have surrendered this entire preseason. Another crunching blow delivered there, though the Chargers do have a first down based on the spot of the ball. Nazir Forcurian with the hit.
Great job there by number. We already worn that one a little thin.
He seems to be really enjoying himself on defense there, Rob.
He does, but man, it could be even more fun on offense. You know where the play's going, you know who you're supposed to block, you don't got to react as much. All right, Bill, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Go ahead and play offensive guard, and you'd be a heck of a guard. All right, there we go. That's it.
You know, one thing you brought up about the corners that I really appreciated hearing is that willingness to tackle. And scouts will tell you, when they're identifying key traits, especially for this defense, those perimeter corners, it's not just that they can do it, it's that trait that they want to, that they are antsy to go tackle a receiver in space, and it really stands out on tape, and it's something they want to see tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's just, you know, the willingness to get in there, and obviously corners, you think they got to go cover all the time, but
midfield looking for a new first down. And they'll run it over the left tackle for a new set of downs. Go back to it, Jordan.
Yeah, so this Rams defense, they're going to rotate not just their fronts, and especially with as versatile as guys like Braden star position, so the slot. And you're also going to ask some of your safeties to play dime linebacker. So you're going to see a lot of different things with this defense, maybe more rotations and more multiple looks than we've seen from this group in a really long
thing for this Rams defense. Well, I almost wanted to ask G Money if they have all those guys join the inside linebackers room, because if they're going to be playing dime linebacker, you know.
Because of how much is going to be going on at all times, and they're going to be able to match offensive personnel so interestingly, and that's going to require a ton of that collaboration, Rob.
Only need a couple on this third down run. There is a flag in the backfield, and let's see if it's coming back as Monty Rice stands up the tailback. Third and short could become third and long. Yeah, if the Rams are going to see as much quick game as we expect them to face on defense. Night of the year here in Los Angeles, there's a blood moon out, and we're in the second half of preseason game number 3. Anything can happen here as the Rams and the Chargers close it out at SoFi. Third down and 17 to Wozier. Well short of the line. Touchdown to Jacob Cowling and the Niners last week. We don't often see the punter get called out by his head coach in the preseason, but that was the case for the Chargers. This one checks out of bounds about the 20-yard line, and that's where the Rams will be when Les Snead joins.
the weekend. That's what it's all about.
So we're going to get a chance to see Matthew Caldwell. We're watching him make his debut right now. What did you guys like about him to bring him into training camp?
Oh, you know what, this is insider trading. That scrimmage got to play some moments. A little walk-off touchdown against Mississippi State. So you know what, we kept our eye on him, liked what he did at his pro day and brought him in.
Yeah, tonight you're the second most famous person from Eufaula, Alabama.
With the state of college football and a lot of guys having more and more transfers and teams that they played for, is that a good thing in your?
Here's what I can say. I'm going to say it can be yes and no, but what we've seen.
And then to pick up the pressure, two guys have to take him out of the play, helping spring Caldwell loose a little bit on the previous play.
Oh, man. You know what? What do we say about this? A Dean Connors transfer from Rice to Houston. I did make some third downs, and they bring the house. You might need it. That was definitely a variable that we appreciated in Ty's game.
One thing that of the offense and of the plan, which was good to see him execute and out of the huddle clean and all of these things take care of the football. He's showing a little of that gamer that he has. He's reading it well. He's creating and making things happen when he sees them. Is that something you appreciated seeing from Ty tonight?
Oh, that's definitely.
Now, is that something you saw in his progression, or is that something that, Coach Dave Ragone has kind of instilled in him to keep his eyes downfield when he is scrambling to make the choice to then run or either pass?
I can say this. Dave's done a really good job getting him ready for tonight. He's a coach's son. I think he learned how to play QB from, let's call it, the backyard till now. But the timeline's the timeline. Time will tell.
Let's bring our friends back. Jordan, Rob, you still with us?
Yeah, it felt like we were so fun.
It's the last time, Rob. Even Sean and I, before we walked out today, said, you know what? This is the last time we'll act like this pregame. I said, you know what? Yes, next time it's for real. But Rob will tell you, he's the one that's played. It's probably more intense between the grass. You get up here, you watch it.
Through the entirety of training camp, potential places where guys could make what is a very deep roster.
Yeah, I think players are competing right for 53. Also competing for the practice squad. And there will be players that we put on practice squad and could get standard elevated and be active with a jersey on.
Discussion about it, and then it turns out that everyone was actually on the same page and that everyone's all happy. But how hard is it to keep a secret?
It's very hard. We got people like Jordan here. All she wants is the inside, so she can let everybody know what's going on. She builds relationships during the week. So when you're trying to keep things quiet, it has to be an inner circle. And sometimes you actually feel guilty about it because you're walking around the halls knowing that something might be coming and you're not letting everyone. You're not as communicative as you normally would be.
Sure.
Well, one of my favorite things about the Myles Garrett trade and the way that you guys were able to turn what I would probably call a long-time dream for many.
In that one, we tried to make it immediate, but like you said, Jordan, we had to plant the seed. It took a little longer for the tree to grow, but we knocked on the door, and I do think because we had knocked on the door that Andrew, right when we were able, it was one of.
How is it that Tutu Atwell came to be a Ram again in 2026?
I mean, Rob would tell you. I mean, Tutu's an alumni. He should come back, right?
That's right.
There may be only one place where a 150-pound player can play. It's right here in L.A. But I do think he's someone who knows Sean's offense. He can come in and play all three positions from a mental standpoint. Has speed, is something that everyone's looking for.
I really appreciated about Tutu that you guys had learned about him in the scouting process pre-draft is his mentality and his mindset. This has been a loaded receivers group for some time, and now the personnel's changed quite a bit. So you don't necessarily know because of how multiple this offense can be.
Still practice, not go the way he wanted it, but when he got his ops, he produced. Last year in Indy, you appreciate someone who can go through that adversity.
Les, it's great catching up with you, especially on. He was very intentional about getting him this second half opportunity. Keeper game and early to the flat. Wesley reaching up to pluck another one out of the sky. Caldwell, of course, following in the footsteps of game winner in overtime in Starkville.
We had 5 rushing touchdowns at Troy also. I mean,
Waters around the left side, Jordan.
Running Waters.
They're just running a simple little gap play. True Edwards getting a big block there. He just slides on out and turns on the speed. I mean, that's just a great way to run the ball, and at the very
for the Rams. I mean, so few have the pre-snap errors been this season that this one sticks out like a sore thumb.
Nice job getting these guys up, lined up. And these are really kind of some of the first snaps that he's really had throughout training camp.
Connors navigating his way behind his blocks, downhill to the 15, and a new first down for the Rams.
Yeah, you said it really well. Opportunity. Dave Ragone always says, we got a flag.
Ball start. Offense number 38.
We'll pretend that didn't happen,
First
Rob,
down.
because I know you hate it on when it's on that time with these players.
Five left on the play clock as Caldwell takes his next snap. Dean Connors changing lanes. Listen to around here. Third down, need 9. Caldwell shoots, and it's complete to the 10. Won't be enough for a first down as True Edwards turns downhill and leaves 3 on the. Connors in the backfield. Caldwell needs the 5. Finds his back. Finds his first NFL touchdown.
We got a flag on the field here. Interesting spot.
Sean McVay said
For defensive holding. There was, however, personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 91. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Why can't they just take the touchdown?
I'll give him a mulligan.
There you go. Thanks, Sean.
Third of the preseason for Dean Connors. This one delivered by Matthew Caldwell.
you knew where that football was going.
He was talking about. Finished at Houston. He's done nothing but impress in the month of August with the Los Angeles Rams. A couple of touchdowns on the road at Kansas City. Now one on the home turf at SoFi. Helping the LA Rams reduce its carbon footprint. And as they kick it off, Darren, you couldn't leave any of these guys out, I understand.
Well, you know what? Tyler Higbee, he was like bodyguards. Did he give you guys something to do? Or
he said we're not allowed to talk. We just have to stand here.
Oh, he just stand there?
No words. He said no words. We're breaking
Okay.
the rule right now.
Okay, they're just standing here, no words. Well, we need some words from you. 13 personnel. It's been so dominant for you guys. What's it like from your eyes playing? Even you want to ask a question?
Ask a question.
Yeah. What do you have? Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. What's your favorite thing about Davis Allen? The fact that he's the general. He's a little wonky, but he's our general and our tight end. Their position, and hopefully he can come back, and it'd be great for us. It'd be a great uplift, and I know the kind of player he is, the kind of person he is, and he's going to come to work and ready to get to it.
It looks like the Chargers just scored. You haven't said anything. Your reaction to that?
Well, I think we'll be all right. Just a little slip, but like Higgs said about
that much of a guy and a dog, and he can just handle the workload, and he's just such an unbelievable person, better player.
Chargers tack on the 2-point with Svoboda.
Next, for him to go through the whole season and just day in and day out and show up and work and grind and not being able to be out on the field, which he loves being out there so much. For him to come back in a cold New York day, to be flying in from the 5-yard line to get the touchdown, like the genuine reaction we had was just unbelievable. Like just watching him soar through the air and score a touchdown after all he's gone through. And Tyler's been on my side for such a long time, and so we always had a little tradition where I always call him my rib. That's basically means he's going to give me a little help. And so we had this fun little handshake celebration, interception here. Don't want to see that.
Avery Smith. Let's see if it stands. There are flags down right at the point of the takeaway. Tyler Scott seems to think it's against the Chargers.
Locker room, but it was that was our corner, and that was how we kept our locker room. No shenanigans. We kept a tight ship, and make sure everybody's checking in, doing everything the right way. Really did hurt. He's just such a competitor. He wanted to be out there and to help his guys. Another 0 joints right there.
One on 3rd down and 7, and incomplete to Brendan Presley. To them, these are their moments, and there's only 11.5 minutes left in somebody's career, maybe multiple somebody's tonight.
I think about their families, too. All the sacrifices that the families who are watching.
For like the things that Sean does and what the offensive line coach sees, what the defensive line coach sees. So it's pretty cool.
Now, is it cool sitting on the sidelines, not being able to play in these preseason games because you just want to play real ball?
Yeah. You know, when the first time we came out, when we went against the Chiefs, you know, that feeling came back to me. It didn't go the way that we wanted last year, but the good thing is that we have a lot of guys returning, and we added on a lot of good pieces, and that same mindset is there. We take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and I don't think anybody can stop us if we're playing at our best. So, and just flushing those things.
There was a lot of great players on this Ram teams that came out of your draft class. When you look at all of them, you know, Young, you get Puka Nacua on there. Who do you think was the best out of that draft class for the Rams?
Yeah, so, I mean, looking back, amazing player.
All right, good luck in the regular season. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Darren, good callback to that 23 class. What Jordan likes to call the sprint rebuild. The fertile soil there. And, you know, we haven't mentioned Jared Verse, I don't think, between the three of us in these three games. Probably a good time since we talked about Miles on the roster. It's not possible without the couple of years that Jared Verse had here. But
he brought such intensity and such focus to what he was doing, where it was just, like I said, defense is a game of emotions, and Jared had a lot of emotions, and he was loud and proud and you know, all over the place.
Excited for Cleveland to experience the Jared Verse experience because it's loud and it's fun.
Bachman back, flag in the air, punt comes down at his 16, and nowhere to go. He's sewn up there, and we'll see about the marker.
Player out of bounds on a punt by the kicking team. A flyer went out of bounds on his own, number 83. During the return, holding by the receiving team. By rule, this penalty will be enforced. It's first down.
That he cares so much about his team, about his teammates, about his preparation, almost to a fault, Jordan.
Yeah, he is a Ram, and we've said it before, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. The culture-building part of what this roster is and what this team is, identifying that makes you sort of a captain material on this team. And on the field, one of my favorite things that could have ever happened with Kyron and for Kyron Williams, and I know you can speak well on this too, Rob, is it's got to be a special thing to feel.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the guy is an absolute ball of energy when it comes to all that stuff. And, you know, the one concepts that I think the Rams have done a great job with over these last couple of years is honestly mixing up a little bit of the wide zone. Hit them tight with duo, and all of a sudden you get just on the edge on a wide zone and get those guys out in space, but vertical, not stanky leg when they first put that foot in the ground and then go the other way. I mean, some of the stuff, it almost hurts me watching it on film later.
Well, Jordan Waters took a stanky hit right there. A flag comes in. Rodney Shelley screaming through.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 24. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Harbaugh doesn't love it. This was unnecessary roughness.
Going back to this Rams running game too, and here's a nice bounce outside too by Waters. I just really appreciate how multiple and versatile everybody is, from the guys up front to be able to the outside, or you can switch the direction. It really puts defenses in knots. What I really hope to see, and I would expect to see a little bit more of this year as well, is getting those running backs more involved in the passing surface, because they can stay on the field on third down. And because some of those outside runs marry very, very well to getting the ball to the back in space.
How about the quarterback, too? You won a Super Bowl playing basically out of the shotgun in 11 personnel. He won an MVP, mostly under center.
No, look, you're a broadcaster, bro.
No, I can't say that. That's Wendy right there.
Third down and 1, and Dean behind his pads picks it up. A lot of people saying that you're on the Wendy plan in your post-playing career. Who's slimmed down quicker?
It's definitely Wendy. Well, no, Wendy, though.
Rams protecting the football and a 2-point lead. Great to see them end 2 games in victory formation so far this preseason. Has one more in store if Dean Connors has anything to say about it.
Simpson, it looks like, will be coming back into the game.
Simpson was sensational in the first half, only asked to hand off here as Connors burrows for a few more. Nick Barrett, a 5th-round rookie out of South Carolina, with,
as Steve just said.
Ty using his cadence there.
Ball start. Offense number 46. 5-yard penalty. First down.
About one of the coolest things I got to see all preseason, and that is our bus ride into Kansas City, into that stadium. And Blaski sits down next to you and is pretty intimidated by you sitting there next to him. And then he starts asking you questions. Can you tell us about that conversation?
Yeah, well, one, it was a new experience for me because I'm used to playing center at Georgia. And so he was, I just kind of gave him some words of wisdom as best I could, and hopefully it helped out, you know, if even a little bit.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest things I think I've ever gotten to hear.
Some of those big conferences like the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and the SEC have banned NFL players from coming back to the collegiate level, guys.
Rams are forced to punt it away one more time here in game 3 of the preseason. Ethan Evans gets a good hop and rolls it inside the 5 and all the way down to the 1 where Tanner Ingle touches it for a long field, and 3:24 remaining. So some good.
Got some spin on it. You know, there's been a long history of punters on this Rams team that can pull a lot of different golf clubs out of their bag. Well, for me, I saw what I needed to see out of Ty Simpson. And yes, I know that with Stetson Bennett as the backup quarterback and this thing's still very flexible down the season stretch here, I really appreciated how Ty Simpson was able to stack these preseason games in a very, very productive way. From initially playing with it.
Him and Stetson have done such a nice job this preseason where, honestly, the most exciting thing for me is that the competition continues. I mean, who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love two guys truly competing, trying to get the best out of each other, just trying to both still compete?
Ian Clifford with that first down catch, and the officials will stop it at the 2-minute warning. The game's still in the
quarterback from escaping.
2 minutes to go. DJ Uyunglele trying to set up perhaps a walk-off score here for the Chargers. Darren's got the latest on Caldwell's injury. Darren?
Yeah, guys, it's not good. Matthew Caldwell is a knee injury. He will not return to this ball game, you guys.
It's tough to see.
You hate to see that.
Making his professional debut tonight in the second half through a touchdown toss to Dean Connors. Jerron Bradley with the play here for the Chargers, and it's good for a first down. Remember, they exhausted their timeouts on defense, so 120 and rolling. DJU from the pocket, pressure from his blind side, and he got home again.
What a pass.
Peterson with another sack. Let's see if it stands.
I mean, what a rush here. Speed just beats the hands.
Defense number 51. The 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Instead of the Chargers being behind the chains, they're in first down and 5. In plus territory. Pressure up the gut this time, and Murch wraps him up. Ball comes loose late as DJU spit it out. They're going to run the clock. Hatcher is still playing in the 4th quarter of preseason game number 3. Here they come again.
The ball's
that
out.
Is a strip sack.
Ball's
no
out.
flag down. This one counts. Daryl Peterson calls game.
Oh my goodness, what a rush. What a way to just put an absolute exclamation point on the preseason. And he is fired.